I was looking online the other day and I found out that you can also remove the PCV system on the intake. You can thread in an M8 by 1.25 thread and put like a bolt, in my case like a little Allen head stud. I'm taking this portion of the intake tomorrow to Michelle's shop along with the knuckles and the other things that I have to do that I talked about in the last video for the EGR delete. I can thread this stuff at his shop. Right now I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff that I don't need and then kind of prep it so that tomorrow all I do is go in there, thread it, Tef tape these things and screw them in there. Don't need. This piece was right here basically. There was coolant that ran from the front to the rear, and then I think originally it made its way into what would have been the heater, but I'm gonna not run a heater on this car. I took that out and then I just cut what was a circular piece off and I kind of rounded it over with a file. I'm happy with the way it looks even though I won't see it. I think that's the last thing I have to do on the intake, and then I have to come over here to the engine, pull this little plate off right here, cut this off, and then weld this one shut, so I'll do that really quick. I'm gonna turn this into a plug because apparently this thread is really hard to find. Cut this, weld a little piece of metal in front of that, and this whole thing will be done. It is really tight though. I want to put it in my gym.
Yeah, I'm leaving the gym now. Wanted to go diving today. And then
So we're at Michelle's shop today. I have to do a little bit of machining work on the knuckles and then a couple of the details related to the exhaust manifold and the intake manifold. I'm kind of just going to try and move through this as fast as I can because I do have a time limit today. I'm going to start with thread tapping the intake manifold for the PCV delete.
Got the drip seam today here.
This is for the radiator.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that. I got to keep it so the...
You bought this for this?
No, this is yours.
Oh, okay, okay.
I got it from your kit.
Okay. 4 inch or is it metric?
Metric 8 by 125.
Okay. M8?
Yes. Here's both the knuckles. They've both been drilled out. I had to do a bunch of test pieces on a piece of aluminum to try and get these holes to the right diameter, but basically no play. It's an extremely tight fit, so I would say mission accomplished for the tie rod ends. Monday, I brought the knuckles with me and the exhaust and intake manifold. I don't think I'm putting the exhaust manifold or the intake manifold on yet because I still have to do some welding to complete the EGR and some coolant block off. I should be able to now install the knuckles and the brakes and get them turning with the steering wheel so I can completely button up the suspension stuff. We'll start with that and we'll move from there.
You replacing both of these?
That works. Alright, so I'm gonna go out here and kind of expose myself as a little bit of an idiot. I just did the other side, and there's supposed to be a gap between the knuckle and the tie rod so that the inner tie rods are like in alignment with the steering rack. I looked online, and apparently the order in which this ISR outer tie rod is supposed to go is the shaft, this big washer, my bad, that's a small washer, here. Then it's supposed to go tie rod, small washer, then this cone, then the knuckle, then the small washer, this. Which would make more sense. Honestly, this kind of confuses me a little bit. I think the design could have been a little clearer. Technically, you shouldn't need to drill out the knuckles like you saw me doing. I don't know why the threads weren't longer on these, to be honest with you, though, because it's definitely not obvious that they fit. But apparently I messed up pretty bad.
You replacing both of these?
I know this video is probably a little bit shorter. That's going to be it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and take care of all this EGR delete stuff. I'm going to do that on Saturday again at Michelle's shop. I'm going to get the welder out, so I'll bring the camera for that. I should be able to drop this thing in there, I want to say next week, button up some little details here and there, and I want to drive this car away. So that's it for this video. See you next week.